What up? This is Robert Horry.
Horry, three-pointer. Buries it!
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
Oh man, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Let's call it episode 245 of the Big Shot Bob podcast. B-Dog Brandon Harper, I'm Rob Jenners. That is seven-time NBA champion, aloof to the news of the week, Robert Horry. Right out of the gate, I do up like a little, for those of you taking behind the scenes from me, I do like a little show sheet every week where I just kind of jot down like topics and notes and, stuff that's kind of in the news. And first one off the top was about Jimmy Butler and the torn ACL that went down. And Rob, when did this happen? when did this happen? And I'm like, well, it happened Monday. It happened Monday night in the Warriors win over the Heat, 135-112. His agent called it a gut punch, so they confirmed it is a torn ACL for Jimmy. Mm-hmm. His season's done, and obviously he's going to be out for a while. Jimmy, by the way, how old is Jimmy? 36?
36, 37. One of them. He's up there.
His agent said this one, and this is why I put this on the sheet. Quote, I've known for over 10 years now that Jimmy's going to win a championship before he's done. My belief in that is unwavering. We will make some functional decisions here in the next few days, and then we are on to the next. That, to me, seems like maybe the Warriors have indicated to him that, like, I don't know if after this there's a road forward for him in Golden State.
We already been down this path with one player.
Yeah, we've done
We're not going to go down this path again.
I don't want to do this again.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so Jimmy with the torn ACL is done. Obviously, Golden State right now, I think they're in the 8th seed, maybe, the 9th seed. They're floating in there somewhere. And I'm like, what does it do for, like, what happens to their season now? Like, where do you go?
No. Oh, you know what? Someone's sitting back right now saying, you gonna need me now, you motherfuckers.
Jonathan Kuminga's just cracking his knuckles in the corner. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't want to be here. I'm out. But the crazy part is when I saw that, I'm like, all I could think about was the first time I ever met Jimmy, when he was in high school and we were sitting there talking how he just wanted to get to the league. What can I do to get better? And you think about his career and each and every year how he got better and better and better, and now you're at this point where you get long in the tooth, sort of saying you go to a team where you have the potential to win a championship, and now it's over. And I think about what can he do at his age to get back and be at that level where you can compete at a high level and really help a team out. And all I can think about is Klay Thompson. Especially when you a guy like Jimmy, who plays with a toughness about him. And, he has, even though he doesn't play above the rim, so I don't know if this is going to hinder him, but knowing Jimmy Butler and his mindset, I don't think it will, because I think he wants to win a championship, which every player does. So, but I hope he gets well quickly and gets back out there, because I like the way he talks shit to everybody.
Yes, this is tough for them, because I think they, in the last 16 games, they were 12-4. So
something like that. Yeah, they were moving up.
They were moving, like you said, they were moving up, and the trajectory was moving forward. But I think this is a devastating blow to this team, and maybe even to their playoff hopes. Look, I love Steph Curry, I do, and we've seen him do a lot of magic things and carry teams and things of that nature. And I'm not saying he still can't get on this heater where we're like he's playing absolutely out of his mind. But in that Western Conference, to continue to climb that ladder, that's tough, especially when you lose one of your key guys, because they've been in when it comes to plus minus, they've been at the tops of the tops when Jimmy has been there. And when you lose a guy like that, a scoring option, especially when it comes to the age of this team, your key guys are not young. Steph ain't young, still playing great, but he's not young. Jimmy was not young. Draymond ain't young. Draymond is young and angry. Old and angry.
I was going to say, he ain't young.
He's not young and he's angry.
Yeah.
So you talk about his age and whether or not some nights he going to go off and whether he's going to be suspended 2 games or 3 games. So, that Jonathan Kuminga thing is looking like, oh, here we go. Now he's sitting, like Rob said, sitting back looking like, Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Steve Kerr's like the guy who left the girl at the dance for the hotter girl, and then the hotter girl blew him off, and now he's like, "Hey, so you still want to spend some time together?"
Nah.
No, you don't. Okay, bye.
We're good.
Okay.
Appreciate you asking, though, but no.
I bought you a drink.
Sorry.
But here's the funny part. They played last night, even though they lost the Toronto Raptors. How you going to sit on there for a long time to get on the court and score 20? That's what Jonathan Kuminga had. You know what? 20. And in 20 and 21 minutes. You're talking about efficiency.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really interesting if, him and Kerr sit down and be like, yo, man, what can we do to hash these things out? And
I think it's above.
In that room.
I don't think you can really repair that.
If I think you're Steve Kerr, you got to try.
You got to try.
Right?
I think they have
with
tried.
The situation, well, I know, but more so now. You know, and I'm gonna give you the number here that I think kind of stood out to me about this Butler thing, and this is the reason kind of why I put this near the top here. Golden State leads the league in 3-point attempts by a mile. Over half its shots are from beyond the line, beyond the 3-point arc, except for Jimmy Butler, who only shoots about 2 a game. Yet he's responsible for 287 of Golden State's 974 free throw attempts this season, just shy of 30% he's getting to the line. And he's scored 370 total points in the paint. Now you take him out of that equation, and that whole team becomes, we're shooting from deep. We're all Steph Curry. We all want to shoot from half court. And I feel like that is an offensive piece of efficiency that you are going to have a very hard time replacing if you're Golden State.
Yep.
Yeah, did you know Jimmy Butler has shot more free throws than field goal attempts? That's the crazy part.
But that's how he plays, right?
Yeah, that's how he plays. And he gets to the line, which is very important in this era, because just look at Luka, just look at Shea. That's how you get your buckets now, by getting to the free throw line with him. And let's be honest, for Steph to be, one of the focal points of the offense, he's not going to get to the line like those guys does, because he doesn't cause a lot of contact. That's not his thing, So
yeah, it's not his game.
It's going to be really interesting to see where they go from this. They started out not good by getting blasted by the Raptors. So it's I'm seeing them kind of going to start spiraling out of the playoff picture.
For Jimmy, 37, I think, 36 or 37.
What's his contract?
I think he's got another year.
Okay.
I'm not 100% positive on that, though. But from a standpoint of a guy at his age with an ACL, is there really a road back for him? Because you got to think you're 37, maybe 38-ish by the time you're back to healthy, quotation marks.
Everybody's different. Everybody thinks they can turn out to be like Adrian Peterson was and come back in like 6 months.
Right, and that's just, I think those are rare.
That's very, very rare. And I think at Jimmy Butler's age, and with the technology they have now, all this kind of stuff, stem cells, spinning of the blood, he'll be back for the beginning of the season, I think. But it's also going to be one of those things where they're going to like ease him into it, and they probably just going to see how that goes. If not, then they're going to like, yo, we got to shut you down, dog. But hopefully, I think Jimmy Butler, with his attitude and his drive, that I think beginning of the season next year, he'll be ready. He'll be back because, like I said, he's not above the rim player. But he's a very
physical player.
Yeah. I think he'll be fine. Because a lot of times when guys tear ACLs, they come back stronger, and hopefully he's one of those guys.
Okay. That was the biggest story of the week I saw.
Yeah,
was Jimmy. We also got our All-Star selections. And I'm.
But sorry to interrupt.
Go
weird, though? You think about all sports. Think how many ACLs were torn in football this year. It's crazy. Is it something in the water?
No, it happens all the time. It seems like.
Yeah. Is it? Think about now. Guys are so into their bodies, into their diets, and trying to trim fat and all this kind of stuff. What I want to know what it is that's causing these guys to tear stuff now.
Because I think. And yes, I think you being in better shape and taking care of your body can lessen the chance of an injury. But I think people are kind of looking past the actual sport that you play and what's needed, the cuts, planning your foot, the level of the speed, the power, and everything that comes along in especially football. Like people are always talking about. I do think the field turf may have something to do with it. There is something where guys are getting hurt more on field turf than they are on grass. Yes, there's something there. However, the 49ers play on grass, and they're injured every single year. And they had some study about their practice field being built on some type of whatever, and it's causing more injuries. Cool, all well, whatever.
Indian burial ground or something? Yeah.
No, it was more. It's something more than that.
At the Denver airport.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, my bad.
But my thing is, I think people are really looking past just the type of game that you play. You play a collision sport where you got grown men moving very fast, colliding into one another on a consistent basis, and cutting and moving and things of that nature on a dime. Eventually, that's going to take a toll on your joints, on your Achilles, and everything.
You're preaching to the proverbial choir on this one.
But
you're looking at a man who's been through it.
You're right. But he did ask the question, how? Like, I just think the general body and population are looking at everything else outside of the obvious thing, and it's the sport that you play.
I also want to know, I think each and every year football adds a game. They're going to
go to 18
right?
soon.
Yeah, and to me, is that too much for those guys? Is that too many games? Because you really
go back even when it was back to 16, they were still playing 4 preseason games. Now, they didn't play in all those games. I get it.
Yeah.
But adding a game or two, is that really the difference between the 90s era NFL? I think maybe part of it is the news cycle now and the sports news cycle. I mean, guys got hurt probably pretty regularly in the 80s and 90s. We just didn't hear about it every 5 seconds. Now it's like someone got turf toe, and it's like I got 18 notifications about the guy getting turf toe.
Yeah. But, back then guys played with turf toe. They didn't give a shit. They
shoot them up full of, horse steroids and cocaine and send them back onto the field. You know what I mean?
Even the moving to possible 18 games, I think they would knock off a preseason game. So instead of the 3, they would probably go to 2. So they get rid of one of the preseason games.
Nobody plays in the damn preseason game anyway.
Well, you're right. And so I guess they're saying, hey, we'll knock off one while adding another. But everything is about, we know it's about money. The players, it's about, especially with the NFL, with it being run by the owners, if they want to move to 18 games, guess what's going to happen? They're going to move to 18 games. Mm-hmm. Just what it's going to be. This is not the NBA. This is the NFL, where the Players Association does not have the power like the NBA PA.
Yeah. And to your point about something being in the water, I've noticed it in the last, I want to say 5 years in Major League Baseball. More damn Tommy John's guys. More pitchers blowing out their arm trying to throw 110 miles an hour and getting Tommy John. Probably, I want to say like the last 5 years or so, I've really noticed a huge uptick in it. It's like dude pitches half a season, Tommy John, he's and he's out for a year. And then he comes back, he's hurt again, he's out for another year. And it's like, I don't know if that's just the sport, to your point about, hey, you play a physical sport, basketball, football, a little bit more physical, but in baseball, it's like how hard can he throw? How hard can he throw at a young age? Can this guy throw 100 miles an hour? And it was like, you don't have to throw. I mean, Greg Maddux couldn't throw 100 miles an hour. That motherfucker played for 20 years and was striking guys out left, right, and center, went to the Hall of Fame first ballot. So it's like, I don't know. Like I feel like
the flip side of that, we had Nolan Ryan throwing 100 miles per hour until he like 45.
He was smoking Marlboro Lights on the mound and throwing no hitters in his 40s. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I don't know, man. I think it's just we push. The spotlight is so bright, and there's so much money that a lot of these times I think these guys push themselves maybe in places and in ways that maybe they weren't willing to in the past. And then they're getting hurt for it. But I don't know, man. Who knows the real answer?
No, speedy recovery for Jimmy Butler.
Oh, for sure, man.
Because I remember watching that and I said, oh, yeah, that's ACL.
I didn't see it happen. I watched the clip since, but I didn't see it live. But
I don't even want to watch the clip.
No, it's hard. And for me, any of those injury clips are hard to watch.
Yeah, even when I saw Kittle's tear his ACL the other day, I'm like,
he tore his Achilles.
Yeah,
Achilles.
And it's like then they want to go back and show it in slow mo, and I'm like,
you watch it go.
Yeah, and then the announcer's like, watch his knee explode right here, and you're like, no, I don't want to see that.
But usually, like with Kittle rupturing his Achilles, you saw like his foot kind of sliding back like that. Usually when it slides back like that, and it happens with a lot of people who tear theirs, there's a lot of pressure on that calf and that Achilles because now you're blocking or you're trying to stop somebody. So now you're being pushed backwards while you're trying to push forward, and that's the pressure.
It's a rubber band, man.
Yeah.
Eventually it just snaps.
It snaps sometimes, you know.
I wanted to pick your brain about the All-Star game. And I feel like we do this every freaking year on this show. But this year, I am monumentally confused by the All-Star game. So we've got our All-Star starters this week. They announced the 2026 All-Star game starters. Obviously, the game's February 15th at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. The starters, Luka Doncic for the Lakers, his 6th selection. He was the top vote getter, by the way, with just over 3.4 million votes. Steph Curry for the Warriors, his 12th selection. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Thunder, his 4th selection. Nikola Jokic for the Nuggets, his 8th selection. And Victor Wembanyama for the Spurs, his 2nd selection. So all those guys, I think, pretty justly deserved. We'll talk about the snubs in half a second here. Eastern Conference was Tyrese Maxey for the 76ers, his 2nd pick. Brunson for the Knicks, his 3rd pick. Cade Cunningham for the Pistons, his 2nd pick. Jaylen Brown for the Celtics, his 5th. And, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo for the Bucks, his 10th. Now, the reason I'm confused is, okay, you got the starters, right? The normal 5-on-5 starters. But that's not the format.
No.
So who gives a shit who's a starter when you're not going to start 5 guys on the same side of the ball no matter what you do?
And I think because there's a couple of things. You know, the format is the format, and it was tinkering with how they're going to play the game. So the format's been that way for years, so they're going to let the fans, you know, do their thing. And plus, a lot of these guys would probably say, no. I have it in my shoe contract.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I have it in my NBA contract.
If there's an escalator if you're an all-star starter. I didn't even think about that. You're
exactly.
Right. You're right.
I think the NBA has to keep it that way just because now all these guys have this in the contract. And this is, you know, think about it. Last year they tried it one way. It didn't work. Scrapped it. This year they're going to try it another way. They're probably going to scrap it again because I feel like it's not going to work. Just because this is basketball.
Dude.
This is not hockey. You know, hockey did it and it was great. But you got to think about NBA. Guys don't really want to fucking be at the All-Star game anyway. Now you got, we're going to challenge you, you know, the foreign players versus the USA players.
Right, so it's U.S. versus the world this year.
And then we're like, well, what if you take LeBron and Steph, they're on different teams? It's not really the U.S. versus the world now because you got the 2 best players, the 2 that kill in the Olympics on different teams. And so people still going to be like, and now when the U.S. teams have to play each other, you know, A versus B, they can be like, man, I don't want to be out here. Go to the next game. You know, it's just.
Well, there's going to be 2 U.S. teams and 1 international world team.
Yeah.
And they're going to play like a round robin, 12-minute game type thing. Where it's going to be, you know, and then each team is going to have, I think, 12 players on it, if I'm not mistaken.
Smoke them if you got them.
Yeah, so it's like.
Well, you waiting for the other team?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be sitting
I'm
there.
like this.
Doing nothing. What you're smoking there? But,
no, you know how the NBA players, they're going to fire up, dog. Or something
yeah. No, you're going to be sitting there doing a whole lot of nothing for a while. And then you got to jump in and play 12 minutes, and then it's like, Team 1, Team 2, and then Team 2 and Team 3, and then the loser plays this one, and I'm like, dude, it's so confusing. Like, just play a game of basketball. And how about this? Everybody tries. You know what I mean? Everybody plays a little bit, and I think we'll be okay. But this is, like, I think people are, I'm not even lying, I really think people are going to struggle with this. Yeah. Because formatically, it's kind of hard to do the math on it. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And I think the more you make people work for something, the less they enjoy it. Just, you know, give me some high-flying dunks. Let me see Steph and LeBron throwing oops to each other. Like, that's all I really care about is an all-star game. And the problem is they've made everybody's turned it into kind of like such a mockery of itself that the NBA is like, well, shit, now we got to do something to try and get them to compete.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to play on international pride now. It's like, I just don't get it.
I think a lot of these guys, you look at LeBron, Steph may be different even though he's seen plenty of these. A lot of your older guys, I think they played so much basketball that a lot of them have now viewed, even though they appreciate and value the honor of being named an all-star, I really do think a lot of these dudes want to look at all-star break as a time to rest. I really do, and I know that kills the vibe of what All-Star break is supposed to be, but Steph being in a three-point contest is one thing because he really doesn't have to exert any energy to do it. But LeBron, playing running up and down the court, Steph playing running up and down the court, it being exactly what they do throughout the season anyway. I think a lot of these dudes look at it, man, you know what, yeah, I'm an all-star, but dang, I just really want to sit down. I don't mind being at whatever the easy fit, but dang, I really, like you hear LeBron all the time say, man, I just want to be home. I just want to rest. Well, I just want to be home.
I was going to say he might be this
last
year.
year.
Yeah,
but he did it last year.
But I think LeBron's at the stage now where he does not care about all-star. He's made it every year.
Well, it snapped his streak this year.
Yeah.
Was it 20 consecutive seasons or something like that where he was an all-star starter or something? 21? Yeah. So, yeah, he obviously snaps that streak. But I know exactly. I think at this stage of LeBron's career, I don't think you have a whole lot more to prove. It's like you just take what you're given at this point and just go with it. But the only thing that came out of this that I thought was interesting was the snubs as starters. And I'm like, again, you're not starters. But, again, for the escalation in your contract, I guess. Donovan Mitchell, Anthony Edwards, and Jalen Johnson were the three that stood out that were like, okay, any one of them could have gotten a spot. However, I think it came down to Ant and Wemby for that last spot as a starter. And I think Wemby won the fan vote by like 50,000 votes or something. Not by a lot. Yeah. I mean, by like this much. Yeah. He got the nudge. But, I mean, for me, that goes either way. I love Jalen Johnson. I don't know.
What's his first one?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if he's going to get a starter spot right out of the gate like that. And, I mean, Donovan Mitchell, I don't know, man. I just haven't been terribly impressed with the Cavs this year. So
Donovan Mitchell, no. Jalen Johnson, that's, I think that looking at the lineup that the East has, I feel like, maybe
there's an argument. Yeah.
It's an argument there, but Ant-Man, there's an argument there too, but Mitchell, no. But I also think that people forget that this is fans voting.
Right. And I think the fan vote counted for like 50% or something.
Yeah, international players, especially the guys on you look at, it's one American player in the West that made it, that was Steph.
Yeah, I think that's
and
right.
He's loved by the whole world because of what he does. Everybody else is, loved by the whole world too. Yeah. Ant-Man, you loved by the United States. You ain't loved by the world like those other guys are. So that's one of the reasons he didn't make it. But, you can't argue with that lineup. The only person in that lineup you might be able to argue with is Brunson. Out of everybody, that's the only one.
Knicks are playing,
in my opinion.
Yeah, well, Brunson's still out, isn't he? They've been slipping.
Brunson and Jokic.
No,
I would say Brunson and Jokic are the only two that, because of the injuries. I forgot about Jokic.
Yeah, the Knicks are still sitting at 3.
Yeah, but I think it's Boston back at 2.
Yeah, Boston's back up at 2.
I think the
by
Knicks
like a game or two
had lost. Like, I know since Brunson had went out, they hadn't, even though they're still at 3, they hadn't been playing very well. And obviously, when you lose a guy like Brunson, who's the kind of the engine to your offense, that's going to happen. But I also think that speaks to just how the East is to lose that that many games in a row and still be in the top 3. Yeah.
Well, to your point, Pistons have about a 5.5 game lead up there.
Yeah.
Celtics are at 2, Knicks are at 3, Raptors at 4, Sixers at 5, Magic at 6, Cavs at 7, and the Heat at 8. And from 2 to 8, it's a 4-game difference. So that can change literally absolutely any time in the East. And I'm surprised, by the way, in the West. Shout out to the Spurs, who are catching OKC, which I don't know if any of us really thought was going to happen, but OKC, a 5.5 game lead over the Spurs now, who seemed like it's at one point that felt insurmountable. But the Spurs right up there at 2, Nuggets at 3, Timberwolves at 4, Rockets at 5. Lakers drop down to 6. Suns are at 7, a game back of the Lakers, and the Warriors, we talked about, they're at 8, a couple games back of LA. LA's continuing to kind of slide back a little bit here. What are they, like 5-5 in their last 10 or something? 500?
Yeah.
So
they won 2 in a row.
Break out the champagne. We won 2 in a row.
You know who surprised me, though, is the Nuggets. With Jokic being out, that they're still able to keep that, that standing right now. Because, it's interesting when your best player is hurt and he's a triple-double guy like he is. Yeah. You kind of start slipping. But the Nuggets have been holding up.
They've been holding up.
Holding on. They're holding on.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to with him or in or out, they're going to have to. Those guys are going to continue to perform.
Hey, and now, Ty Lue got the Clippers. They were had won 8 in a row.
Dude, Clippers are. I think
they lost last night.
Yeah, they did. But I want to say that they were like, oh shit, I should have written it down. I saw it earlier, but they're way up. They're like 16-4 or something like that in their last 20. I don't know something. It's not the right number, but it's something like that. Where it was like, oh shit, okay,
like the Jefferson.
Yeah, we are moving on up after that dreadful. What was it, 8-20 start or whatever it was, 8-21.
Yeah.
I mean, they were. Oh, we had dead and buried those guys. So he's starting to get that ship turned around. I'm going to give you my Shea stat of the week. It seems like I have one every week. And then we're going to talk about Kevin Durant, the NFL playoffs, the national championship game. We could probably skip that if you want. And I'll do big shot of the week, and we have a game this week. So my Shea stat of the week. He's averaging 31.8 points per game this season. He's on pace for the 4th straight 30-plus points per game season, which would tie him for second all-time with Oscar Robinson. Good company. Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain are tied for first with 7 straight seasons of averaging 30-plus points per game. So he's in good company now. Here's the weird stat for Shea. At 27 years old... 27 years and 190 days old. Okay, we're going to get day specific here. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Russell Westbrook at the same age, 27 years, 190 days, both scored 12,598 points. Exactly the same total at exactly the same point in their career and their life. That is an odd statistic.
Interesting.
Because
they were both
being in that uniform.
Yeah, I was going to say, because they're both kind of like Russ was one of the faces of the Thunder for years, and now Shea obviously is the face of OKC. And just at the same checkpoint of their age, the same checkpoint in their career, both at the same exact day have the same amount of exact points at that point. Just an odd stat. That's just one of those that makes you scratch your head. It's a weird number. And then I'm going to shout out Kevin Durant here. Just for obvious reasons, this happened on Sunday.
And all he needs is one free throw to pass Dirk Nowitzki on the all-time scoring list. And the fans are aware of this and are recognizing the gravity of the situation. Kevin Durant has moved past the greatest Maverick of them all, Dirk Nowitzki, and is now officially 6th on the NBA's all-time scoring list.
So there you go. Pretty cool. Seeing KD get up to 6.
Elite scorer, one of the greatest ever.
One of the best. So here's who's in front of him now. At 6, he's got Jordan ahead of him at 5 at 32,292. By the way, KD has 31,562. So he is 800, 700 points, if you will, shy of Jordan. Kobe's at 4 with 33,642. So he's about 2,000 points shy of Kobe. And then there's the big jump to number 3, who's Karl Malone, or, just shy of 37,000 points. You think he passes any of those guys, all those guys? You think he's got 2,000 more points in him to pass Kobe? Maybe. Everyone's hedging this one.
I feel like because of where he is now, it's going to be hard because Sengun, Amin, all those young guys are getting their buckets. They don't depend on KD. He's not really the man. He has his moments, but I think he's in a situation where he shares the wealth, and it's going to be hard for him to catch Kobe. I think he'll catch Jordan, but not Kobe.
Okay. He's only about 700 points shy, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just depends on how much longer he plays and how healthy he is. A guy that scores like him, it's tough to say no.
Yeah.
But I think it just depends on how healthy he stays. And if he's missing games as time goes on, then no. Because you actually got to be in these games. And I don't know how much he has to average to get to each one of these guys. But it just depends on how healthy he stays. Because one thing for certain, or two things for sure, nobody is debating whether or not this man can score the basketball. We know this. We've seen it. Ever since he came into the league in 2007, we've seen it. Yeah. It's just about health. And my thing is, Rod, I disagree with you a little bit on. I think he's still the man with the Rockets because what's their head coach? What's their head coach's name? Ime, it wasn't that long ago where you said we got to sit here and depend on a 38-year-old to bail us out offensively. That's not the formula. My thing, that sounds like that's somebody that's the guy to me, and it sounds like them young guys ain't as consistent as they need to be scoring the ball. If I got to depend on KD every time to bail me out, some ain't right.
Yeah, but still though, Sengun, was injured for a minute, but I think it's still gonna be hard. But he's gonna have to average 25 points a game just to get 2,000 points, and so but that's still though. That's why I say he'll catch MJ, but I don't think he'll catch Kobe.
Okay.
Long road.
He's not gonna be able to average 25 points a game.
I know. I mean, as your career goes
Sengun and I'm saying each year these Sengun and Amon is getting better. Not to mention other guys on that team. You think about it, they got like 3 guys on that team should still be in college. So they're going to eventually hit that grown man mark where they want, hey, man, step back, KD. Your old ass need to sit over there while I do my thing.
I don't know if anybody's saying that to Kevin
And I also
Durant.
think it depends on how motivated he is to catch these guys. Like, he knows this stuff. Guys know this. Like, when you start to get within that top 10, you start looking at guys that are ahead of you, that adds a little extra motivation for these guys who want to stamp their place in history. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I mean, again, I think there's something about being able to say you got more than Jordan, just because Jordan is such an icon of the game.
Considered the GOAT, yeah.
Yeah, and Kobe being right there. So I think, if you can look and say you're within striking distance of Jordan and you could probably get to Kobe, then I bet you he's probably doing a little math in his head. What can I get? What can I do? So, I don't know. We'll see if he gets there. How much NFL playoffs did you guys watch this weekend?
All of it.
Did you watch all of the
You
playoffs?
know I
Rob,
did,
Did you watch
boy.
all of the playoffs?
Boy, woo.
How much did you watch, Rob? Anything?
All of it? Yes.
Oh, you did watch all of it? Okay, good.
Yes.
Rams and the Bears, man. That was a slugfest. That was a good game, though. There was a lot of disappointed Bears fans leaving
That's all right.
Soldier Field, man.
Going back into hibernation.
Oh, goodness. That went to overtime.
It did.
Kick to win it. So they will advance. The Rams advance to play the Seahawks, an interdivision NFC title game. The Seahawks, who, God bless my wife, who is a 49ers fan, had to watch her team get dismantled, and it was not pretty. I mean, it was Indiana versus Alabama, not pretty. I mean,
Oh, well.
Why do you have to go there? Why could it be
Because
Indiana versus somebody else?
It was Indiana versus Oregon, not pretty. Okay.
Thank you.
We'll go that road if you want. I mean, the Seahawks are freaking good, man.
Yeah.
That Seahawks defense is insane. So, yeah, that's going to be a hell of an NFC title game.
Until they see us.
I was like, I ain't gonna lie. I'm sitting up here watching that Texan game. And I'm like, what
is CJ doing through 4
all
picks?
you gotta do is get past this game. You're going to the Super Bowl because the Broncos don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, and the Broncos got it done.
Yeah.
The Broncos found a way to get it done, and got freaking Sean McDermott fired in Buffalo. He lost to the Broncos, and the Bills were like, "All right, he's fired." I was like, "Whoa!" I mean, like he's. I guess it's just because, and that team's been really good for the last 4 years, 5 years.
But you think
they just
about
haven't
this, though.
gotten there.
A lot of times, these coaches get fired. It's not even the coach's fault. You think about in that Bills game, it's the quarterback's fault. You think about that big fumble he had trying to
Before
scramble for
halftime?
more yards. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a momentum change. And you lose by 3.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things like, I told his ass to get down, but he trying to be fucking Superman. Everybody doesn't say, oh, you Superman. No, you ain't, dog. You just a regular old quarterback. Get your ass down.
Yeah, he was crying after the game too.
Yeah,
Josh
a lot of guys
Allen,
crying.
dude, he was a mess. And look, I've no sympathy for the Bills here. I'm not a Bills fan. I don't really know any Bills fans. You haven't gotten there. You haven't gotten there, and you're right. And it's not necessarily on the head coach, but I feel like Bills fans are frothing at the mouth for someone's head to roll, and it was Sean McDermott's. And that's just sort of the way it goes in the NFL, man. You ain't gonna trade Josh Allen. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna cut somebody just to do. You're gonna fire the head coach and try and make the best. Now, what that does for you in the long run, man, who the hell knows?
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Bills, man. Because my thing is, another added thing is that you had no Lamar Jackson or Pat Mahomes this year that you had to really fight through.
Yeah.
No disrespect to any of the other teams,
No,
but a lot of people looked at it
this was
like,
it, man. It was always Mahomes and the Chiefs that took them out. It seemed like every year. And to Rob's point, Bo Nix is out. He's out for the remainder of the playoffs. Broncos ain't got a quarterback. Patriots are going to waltz into a Super Bowl, I think.
I
And
hope not.
That is, by the way, the Patriots are scary good.
They are.
Like 3 years ago, they were in the toilet. They were winning 4 games, and they are. Mike Vrabel's got them boys playing.
Yeah.
Like they are.
I just think the Texans, if CJ would have played just a little
Dude,
bit
he was
better.
all over the place.
Just a little bit better.
And it's the thing that killed me was the picks, man. Some of those were egregious. Like
Yes.
some of them thrown into double coverage or underthrowing guys. And look, there's going to be a tip ball here and there at the line or something. It's gonna pop. Like you can't avoid. Some of those are just like, all right, that's not on you. But I would 2, maybe 3 of those were firmly on him. For just making bad throws. It's like, dude, you can't do that. And there was
No, the whole
that game
first
was
half was on him.
That game was
Before
fumble city too, man. They were dropping fumbles, picking each other off, changing possession.
That defense was on his ass though. That
Dude.
Texas defense was like, give me that. But
There was a sequence where I think it was Houston picked off New England, and on the next play, New England picked off CJ.
Yep.
And it was like back-to-back picks. And there were fumbles. That game was a disaster. That game was a mess. So
you would have
yes.
expected that in the Rams-Bears game because of the cold weather, but no.
No, man. I got news for the Patriots. It was pretty damn cold up there, man.
Yeah,
that was
Yeah,
real
but
cold.
that big Chicago game, you're talking about 2 degrees.
Yeah, no, it was not comfortable.
It's a little
That
different.
is not comfortable. All right, so who do you have going to who do you got going to the Super Bowl?
I got Rams and Patriots. I just think because even though the Broncos, the defense is underrated and really good. And,
Yeah, I know, but
and-
without
and-
Bo Nix.
Without Bo Nix. But how, it's not like they putting the scrub in there. He's played a couple
No,
of
he
games.
has.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think the Rams. I think the Rams because of the way they lost to Seattle, because they were up on them, I think, 18 or whatever it was, and
lost it,
Seattle
ended up
came
going
storming
overtime.
back. Yeah, so I think it's the revenge game, and the Rams going to come out and beat the Seahawks.
Yeah. I'm taking the Rams, and I don't care about the AFC.
Yeah.
I mean, I would preference would be to see the Broncos.
Denver. Yeah, of course, yeah.
But Rams, Broncos, Rams, Patriots. I think it'll probably end up being Rams, Patriots. So
I'm
Broncos going to shock the world. Watch.
no. Look, I'm leaning, and this is not a shot because I'm leaning Seattle, just because of the way that they've played the last
Yeah, that defense.
5 weeks into the season and the playoffs. They have found a way every single time against every team.
Yeah.
And when they have an opportunity to take you apart, they don't miss, man.
yeah.
So I'm leaning a little bit more Seattle, but I think it may be Seattle, New England, and I hate the Patriots, but I don't necessarily hate this version of the Patriots. You know what I mean? Like I hated the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady Patriots. F those guys. Like I couldn't stand that. This is kind of a different Patriots for me. So I don't necessarily despise. Like Patriots fans have had the wind taken out of their sails a lot the last 5 or 6 years, and it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
So give them a little bit of glimmer of hope.
Do you know
what I mean?
what's the guy's name that goes around to different teams and does a lot of the little magic trick stuff? Have you seen he go?
I saw him.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
So it's this guy, I forget his name. He went and did this with the Rams, I think, before the season started, I believe. Or
Oh, is he
some-
like, I've seen, no, I have seen this, like a mentalist.
Yeah,
I've
mentalist.
seen this. I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name, but I know
So
exactly
did you see
who
the
you're
one he did with the Rams?
talking about. I don't know. Maybe.
So he predicted
I've seen a few.
that not only would the Rams, because he did this with Devontae Adams, not only would the Rams meet the Broncos in the Super Bowl, but the Rams would win 23-14. I'm not saying that it's true.
But if that happens,
I'm just saying that happened and I saw it. So
okay.
His name is Oz Perlman.
there it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. You're as soon as you say mentalist, he's
Yes.
not really a magician, but yes.
Well, he one of
magician,
them.
I'm like, someone making balloon animals? It's
I didn't know what to call them. Mentalist position. They both start with an M.
Yeah.
I was at this event, and it was Meta World Peace and Derek Fisher, and so they chose Gloria, Derek Fisher's wife, and Meta, and he had to guess certain things. Oh yeah, and Gary Payton was there too, and everything that he it was like I saw this. I'm like, there's no freaking way. And I had to ask Gloria and Meta, man, were y'all in on this? Like, no. And so it's crazy what he
Mentalists
does.
are weird.
Man.
They do some
Mm-hmm.
crazy weird shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know how. And I've read up on it, like, but there's methods, and they sort of plant ideas for people, and I'm like, I can't hear it or see it though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, and there's no clue on what they're saying or how they're saying it that plants the idea that makes you pick the right card. That I don't know. It's weird, man. Just a couple quick
That's
notes.
why my whole thing is, who can pick Meta World's pieces brain?
No chance.
There's no way.
No
So
way.
that's why I believed in him.
All I know is if you hit him with a beer, you better put your fists up because it's coming. All right, let's do this. A quick coaching notes in the NFL. Then we're going to talk about the title game, big shot of the week, and then we'll play. Giants hired John Harbaugh. Okay, makes sense. It's going to be a whole new thing in New York now. Falcons hired Kevin Stefanski, who was the coach of the Browns.
Yep.
This is like 2 weeks ago. 2-time coach of the year, too. I don't know why Cleveland fired him.
And Baker Mayfield is already talking shit about him.
Yep. Titans hired San Francisco defensive coordinator Robert Saleh, former Jets head coach.
Yep.
And then the Dolphins hired Green Bay defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley.
Yep.
And this is the Dolphins' eighth consecutive first-time head coaching hire.
Yep.
In that this is 8 coaches in a row with no head coaching experience. They continue to hire these people. Miami is lost, man. God bless them. They don't know what the flipping hell they're doing down there.
Hey, man.
So-
8 in a row, guys that have never had head coaching experience.
Didn't the coordinator get hired by someone?
Who?
The Indiana Hoosiers defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator. Didn't he get hired by someone?
The Hoosiers offensive coordinator?
I think he was interviewing, and I'm trying to remember with who.
Oh, yeah.
Damn,
Okay.
I don't know offhand, but I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
And I didn't read it, but I saw it.
Oh, and Miami's former head coach Mike McDaniel got hired as the OC with the Chargers.
That's right, he sure did. So there's been a bunch of coaching moves around the NFL. All right, I don't know. Man, I don't know what to say about the national championship game, dude.
It's a good game.
Hell of a game.
Dude, it was a good game. The FBI should investigate number 87 for Miami, who failed to block the guy on the freaking punt.
Right?
Like, he just brushed him off, and dude got a hand on that punt and fell on it, and that is literally the difference in the national championship. Is a damn block punt.
Hey.
But I give Miami a lot of credit, man. They every time you thought, oh, here comes Indiana, and they're gonna just try, they came back and they hit them.
Yeah.
They came back. Mark Fletcher with that monster run.
Yeah.
That dude is a beast. And, Malachi Toney, and they just had their moments, man, but they made too many freaking mistakes, which is what Miami always does. Too many penalties.
A lot of Georgia fans smiling across the country
Of
because they
course.
knew Carson Beck was going to give him one.
Hey, it's weird. That's what I was going to say. I was sitting there. Candace was like saying, "Oh, they might win." I said, "No, Carson Beck gonna be Carson Beck. Like, what
He's
gonna throw a pick."
And he had
said, "What?"
on the
Go throw a pick.
final throw of the game, he had 40-something seconds left on the clock. He had Malachi Toney wide open over the middle for like 10, 15 yards. Could have gotten him closer. Could have just decided to go for it all, and just missed the dude coming over in cover 2 and just straight up pick. Totally on Carson. Shouldn't have thrown that football.
My whole thing.
Shitty way to end the national championship game.
I would have. I've been throwing hey, Tony, where you want to run? Because I'm getting the ball to you.
Because I'm
like,
throwing the ball to you.
I'd be like, yo, fuck what they say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you the ball. Tell me what route you want to run,
Yep.
and just get him the ball, man. Because that dude's a special type of guy.
Yeah, he is, man. He showed it when he scored, and Mark Fletcher ran for. It was the first running back this year to run over for 100 yards over Indiana's defense. So
And that was the longest run of his career in Indiana.
But Miami gave them everything they could handle. They just made too many damn mistakes, and Indiana did exactly what Indiana does. They didn't make any. Fernando Mendoza was just good enough. He didn't have to be incredible. That run, hang that shit in the Louvre, man. The run and him diving across the goal line.
Yep.
Like, that's going to live on for Indiana fans forever. Like, if they never win anything else again, that will be the moment that lives on with them forever. That moment of him stretched out, diving over the goal line.
But to me though, it was that back shoulder throw that he kept throwing to that guy over there.
On 4th
Think
and
about that guy
5 or whatever it was.
He wasn't even playing all year, and then all of a sudden he got better and better.
Becker.
Now he became Becker.
Charlie
Then
Becker. All of a sudden
became
he
the
was
go-to guy.
All of a sudden he was freaking Tyreek Hill out of nowhere. He was like catching everything. He was good enough.
He got himself drafted.
Yes, he did. But Mendoza was good enough to win it. Congratulations to the Hoosiers, man. What a for a team that won 4 games a couple years ago to go undefeated, 16-0, complete the run, win the national title. Good for them, man. And Signetti is everybody and I'm one of the people that said it. Signetti, I don't know about this guy. No, he's a real deal. He's a good coach.
Yeah.
If nothing else, Indiana was the most well-coached team in college football.
They're also the oldest team in college football.
Yeah.
They are. And they're going to lose a lot of people.
But
a national title tends to help with recruiting, man.
Well, but the thing about it is, he used the formula that a lot of college basketball teams have been using. I'm going to take these old-ass dudes that nobody wanted, and I'm going to put them on my team instead of these little young bucks who are going to be one and done. And so that's what he did. He put these old guys who were very disciplined, know how to say, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. It reminds me of how the Spurs used to be, where we ain't flashy, but we're going to pick you apart. We're going to be technical in our movements, and they're going to be the right movements to win us a championship.
That's a good comparison. That's a very good comparison. The Spurs were a very well-coached team, very effective, very efficient, and Indiana's the same way. Indiana was never – I say they were never flashy. They dismantled people in the playoffs, but they never were like, running all over the place and, taunting and all that stuff. No, they did it and they went home. So, just props to Indiana because that was a hell of a good game. Miami did cover, by the way. So
they did.
Harp and I picked Miami. You picked Indiana. So we actually got the win there because they covered. The line was 7.5, I think. They won by 6. So finals on the season, Rob was an even 500, 33-33. I was 41-25. Harp was 35-31. So there you go. Clap it up. Clap it up, baby.
Clap it up for mediocrity.
There you go. There's the title of this week's show. Clap it up for mediocrity. All right, big shot of the week is going to go to a man named Justin Brittingham of Brevard County, Florida. Here's why. I saw this the other day. Unbelievable. He was driving southbound on A1A in Brevard County. That is north of Palm Beach County. And then he immediately stopped because he saw a child run into the road. And then he noticed, there's 2 children, young children under the age of 2, running into the street on A1A. So dude stops his car, runs out into the road, grabs the 2 of them, and gets them out of the street in just about 6 seconds on the dash cam video. He gets them out of the road fast, but God forbid. Turns out they were 2 children who were at an Airbnb with 2 older grandparents and a parent who put them in. They were in the backyard playing, and the gate was open. And they just wandered off into the street. And God bless this man for saving these kids' lives. I don't know if you've ever driven on A1A in any part of Florida, but, man, people ain't paying attention. Like, people are looking at houses and gawking and looking at the water and sometimes driving like idiots. And, dude, 2-year-old in the middle of the street, thank God for this guy, man. He jumped out and he saved both of them. So, big shot of the week to John Brittingham of Brevard.
Absolutely.
All right, my game this week is going to be I'm still a little sour about Miami losing the national championship game, but I think part of this is when you have this conversation like, Indiana's going to go down as one of the best teams of all time, like one of the best ever. And I'm curious if you guys remember, we're going to talk about some of the best teams of all time. But the game's called Who Did They Beat? Like, we'll remember this one for a minute, at least I will, that Indiana, one of the best teams of all time, beat the Miami Hurricanes. But we'll start with you, Robert Horry. The 1998 Bulls capped off their second three-peat of the 90s, Jordan's 6th title. Obviously, this was the end of the Jordan era in Chicago. Who did they beat? The 98 Bulls to win it all. Who did they beat?
Hold on, let's see. I'm trying to figure out. 98. That's before. Was it Charles Barkley? The Suns? Or was it the Sonics? Is he the Suns or the Sonics?
It was neither. Harper, for the point.
It was the Jazz.
It was the Utah Jazz. Absolutely correct. Good job. Good job. Yes, the push-off. That's right.
It was more of a love tap.
It was a push-off. All right, Harper. Before losing his spot on the all-time scoring list to Kevin Durant, Dirk Nowitzki led the 2011 Mavericks to a title in epic fashion. Who did they beat?
Oh, that was the loaded Heat.
That was the big three, the loaded Heat in Miami. Absolutely right. Don't you sourpuss me.
You played in the era. You should have known.
I'm mad at myself.
You were in the fucking league, man. Like, I'm like,
You were there.
you were there.
I was 8 years old.
Nobody asked you for all that information.
I'm just saying.
Clap it up for mediocrity. All right. Rob, let's go way back to 1968 in the Wayback Time Machine. Joe Namath cemented his name in NFL history by guaranteeing a win in Super Bowl III. It was one of the most iconic moments ever. The Jets won the Super Bowl. Who did they beat?
What?
That's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago, but it is arguably one of the most iconic Super Bowl wins ever.
Packers. I don't know.
That was not the Packers. Harper. You know who the 68 Jets beat to win it all?
Who did Jets beat? 68. It wasn't the Giants, was
It
it?
was not the Giants. Rob, another guess for you?
Bears.
It wasn't the Bears.
We're just going through the whole NFC.
It's okay. We'll bounce after this.
I don't
Harp,
know.
one more guess and we'll kill it.
Let's see. It wasn't the Packers, was it?
No.
Okay. Didn't think so.
All right. It was the Baltimore Colts. The Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. That's one of them trick doggone things.
All right, Harper. Let's go back to Super Bowl. Let me ask you this question. Were you a Rams fan when they were in St. Louis?
Yeah, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Isaac King.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go back to Super Bowl 34 then. The greatest show on turf. Won it all. Who'd they beat?
Tennessee Titans.
It was the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, that was the
That was the
1 yard short of the win.
Mike Jones, linebacker, stopped him.
Mike Jones. Who?
Mike Jones.
All right, Rob, let's go to Major League Baseball. Let's talk about some curses that were broken. The first one happened in 2004 when the Boston Red Sox finally beat the 86-year curse of the Bambino. That was the year that they came back in the ALCS against the Yankees. They were down 0-3, and they won the ALCS. They go to the World Series and win. Who did they beat?
04.
See,
04.
was it the Arizona?
Oh, no, it was not the Diamondbacks. Harper?
04.
2004, the Red Sox break the curse of the Bambino, one of the most iconic wins in baseball history.
It wasn't the Marlins, was it?
It was not the Marlins, no. Rob?
I can't remember.
As everyone cycles through the National League. What?
Cubs?
It was
Not the Chicago Cubs. No. Everyone's cycling through the National League in their head. We'll call it after this one, Harper.
Was it and it wasn't the Phillies, was it?
No, it's not the Phillies. The St. Louis Cardinals.
Daggone it. You know what?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay, yeah.
There's
Okay.
Pujols here, so I'm not
Yeah, it
mistaken,
was.
too.
You're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
All right, Harper. Speaking of curses, the Chicago Cubs broke their 108-year championship curse in 2016. It took Game 7 extra innings to finally bring the Cubs a World Series title. Who did they beat?
Was it the Indians?
It was the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, it was the
It
Indians.
Sure
That's
was
right. Yeah.
in extra innings in Game 7.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think it was like a rain delay in that game, too. It was ended
Yeah.
like 2 hours late. Oh, my God. All right, Rob. Lastly, we're going to go to college football.
Uh-oh.
The 2001 Miami Hurricanes, arguably largely regarded as the best team to ever take the field in college football. If you don't believe that, Google the roster of the 2001 Miami Hurricanes.
It's bananas.
Your head will explode.
It is. But I
It
think
will explode.
they're the second greatest team of all time.
Who did they beat?
Because you got that Alabama team that had like what?
No, we're not
50 damn
talking
pros?
about Alabama.
But no, I'm just saying though, those are two really good teams. But
They are.
I'd say the Miami team, that team with Ray Lewis and all those guys,
Dude, that was
bananas. What's my man?
Frank
Warren
Gore,
Sapp?
Willis McGahee, Ed Reed, Greg Olson.
Name wise.
Dude, it's an
The
NFL
Rock.
Pro Bowl roster. Yeah, The Rock, that's right. It's an NFL Pro Bowl roster.
No, you're right. They are
Yeah.
the greatest. The LSU 2019 LSU team right there.
Yeah.
All right, Rob,
I
who did
remember
maybe
this team, but I couldn't. I'm going to just go out today and say a team that I fucking hate, Notre Dame.
No, it was not
I don't
Notre
know.
Dame. Harp, do you know who the 2001 Canes beat?
Oklahoma.
No, I was in Oklahoma either. No. All right, I'll give you each one more guess if you want it. Or we'll just
Yeah, I want it.
All right, Rob.
I think I know it.
I'll give you a little
Okay.
tiny hint. Think Blue Bloods of college football.
I think I know. I think I know.
Blue Bloods of college football, that'd be Alabama, but it wasn't Alabama.
It was not Alabama.
I think I know.
Harper?
Ohio State.
It was not Ohio State
Dang
either.
it, damn
no.
Blue Bloods.
Nebraska.
Oh, Nebraska.
That was the day and age where
Nebraska.
Nebraska was like
I was
top
going
of
to
the
say
heap, man.
Nebraska too. I'm like, tell you so.
I
You
should've-
threw me
yeah.
off with the Blue Blood.
All right, Harp. You mentioned them.
I got fucking zero in this
20
fucking game. I hate this thing.
2019 LSU with Joe Burrow, one of the other greatest teams of all time in the conversation. They won it all just 7 years ago. Who'd they beat?
Clemson.
Look at you, man. Just
I
stomping all over.
I
It
was at the
Clemson.
I was at the Peach Bowl when they
It
ran
was
through Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma, and then
Oh
they
my
went on
God.
to beat them.
Dude, that team
Yeah.
was special.
When you
special.
said ran through Oklahoma, they did more than just run through him. That was a massacre.
Yeah, that was ugly. That was one Nick Saban. You talked to him about it, and he goes,
Shut your bum ass up, man.
"You don't want to talk about that game. Let's not bring that one up."